Hello everyone, welcome back to the Maverick Cloud. So today video I will walk you through the what is Azure Data Factory, why important is Azure Data Factory, that is called ADF, and where we have to use the Azure Data Factory. So let's come to the point. What is Azure Data Factory? So Azure Data Factory is a cloud-based data integration or data orchestration services which is provided by the Microsoft. Okay, and it's allow us to move, transform and orchestrate data from various sources, destinations in the cloud. Like we have different data sources, okay, like REST API data, like SFTP data, like IoT data, sensors data, or like file system data. So in many kind of data sources we will have, and we can easily connect Azure Data Factory. We can make a pipeline to connect with that source. So this is very easy to connect the source directly. And think of it, a conductor that manage and automate our data pipelines across the different services. It's a key tools for building ETL and ELT pipelines in modern data platform. So ETL means extract, transform and load, and ELT extract, load and transform. So whatever we want. And why is data factory important today market? So let's say data is everywhere, in databases, in REST API, file servers, IoT devices. So ADF will help to bring all data together at a place, and it's very easy. It support hybrid data movement also. Like sometimes we have data on the particular cloud, sometimes we are having the data on our private network, so that is called on-prem server. So we can easily connect with the on-prem server via using integration runtime, SHIR integration runtime, like self-hosted integration runtime. So I will walk you through all those things in next video. And ADF integrate with other services like Databricks, like Synapse Analytics, like Data Lake, like Logic Cap, and making it very versatile. It's help companies to automate their repetitive task and data workflow, and saving time and reducing errors as well. So let's talk about the core component of the ADF, Azure Data Factory. So first of all, there is pipelines where we will make a pipeline from source to destination. Like so we have a data here, okay, and we wanted to move our data from source to destination. And let's say we had having cloud data, or we have on-prem data. So we can make these connections via link services, via integration runtime, and then we will use activity whatever we want. If we wanted to move our data, then we, for those data movement, we have respective activities, and we have to make sure the data sets. So I will walk you through all those things in Azure Data Factory portal. So come to the Azure Data Factory portal first. So here I will show you how to create Azure Data Factory. Let's create one Azure Data Factory. It's loading, just give me a moment. So I have already Azure Data Factory, so I will walk you through here. So let's say this is the Azure Data Factory name, ADF wala, let's assume. So come to this is the home page where you can see the whole name of your data flow, your pipelines, your data sets and all. You can see everything whatever I have made, okay. And then just author tab, come to the author tab, and here you can see the pipelines, data sets, data flow and templates is as well. And into the author tab. So if you wanted to make your pipeline, you can just click here and new pipelines. So it will create a pipeline like test pipeline. I have named it test pipeline. So you can see here the test pipeline. So this pipeline is the test pipeline name. Okay, I'll walk you through all those things. So let's cover first of all the whole core component, whatever we have, like pipelines, like activities, like data sets and all, everything I will walk you through. So activities, so let's see, this is the activities. So inside, as I told you, inside there is move and transform the activity. So like copy activity, like data flow activity. So copy activity, if you wanted to move our data from cloud or from on-prem server, then we will easily use copy activity to move our data from source to sink. Sink means destinations, means from source where we wanted where our data is located and where we wanted to load our data. Okay, and synapse, there's notebook as well. So we can make the notebook as well, and inside a spark job definitions also we can give it, and Azure functions activities and many more activities is here. As I told you, Databricks notebook activities also is there. So if as per requirement, we can make Azure Data Factory activities as per our requirement. Okay, USQL, and in general you can see many various kind of activities like append activity variables. Whenever we wanted to create a particular variable and delete, if you wanted to delete a particular stages or particular data format and all, and execute pipeline. So if we wanted to make a particular pipeline and we wanted to control that pipeline, then we have to use the execute pipeline as well, and failed activities. So there is various kind of activities. Okay, and set variable, if we wanted to make our pipeline parameterized pipeline, then we have to use the set variables. Okay, and REST API. So if our data sources is a REST API, okay, then we have to use that REST API, and here we will go give that URL for that REST API and all, and we can easily connect with our REST API. Okay, and many more is there, like HD inside, like Hadoop inside the big data as well, to process the huge number of the data. So Hive activities, map reduce activities, and big Spark streaming also is there. So this is the whole data activities where we can easily connect with the source and do the transformations as per requirement, and we can make a pipeline and to execute our requirement as well. Okay, let's come to the data sets. So first of all, come to here in manage, and here you can see the data sets. Just give me a moment. The pipeline, come to the pipeline and see the data sets. So what is the data sets? Okay, so I'll walk you through the data sets. Means, see, let's assume in our source locations we have different kind of data sources, like file system data sets we have, or CSV file format, or Parquet file format we have, or SQL database we have. So we have to define our data set, what kind of data is present into the target source locations, and then we will make a pipeline, and again we have to decide in which format we wanted to store our data. Okay, like Parquet format, like CSV format, like file format, any kind of format. If we wanted to store the different file format, like we see, for an example, we have Parquet file format in our source, and I wanted to store in this Parquet file format to the cloud into a CSV file format. So we can easily create a data set. We can select the CSV file format, and then we can store. And if we wanted to store into ORC, if we wanted to store into SQL, then easily we can make it. Okay, that is called datasets. So before making pipelines, we have to decide our datasets from source and sink as well. Okay, so see, when you will create a dataset, then see these are the various 90 plus of the data set connectors where we can decide, like uh, Amazon RDS for Oracle, Amazon RDS for SQL, many more, Amazon S3, Apache Impala, Azure AI, Blob Storage, ADL Gen 2, as I told you, Cosmos DB, SQL, Postgres, many kind of the data sets is available, and we can make our data set easily. Okay, so this is what data sources. So don't worry, when I will make a pipeline, then I will walk you through everything via doing practically in lab, so don't worry about that. And let's come to the link services, and let's assume, go to the manage type and see here the link services. So what is link services? First of all, I just wanted to make sure, like link services, like see, we have data, we have a pipeline, and we have a source, and we have a destination. So if we wanted to connect with the pipeline to the source, and if we wanted to connect with that pipeline to the sink where we wanted to store the data, so to make the connection between source to the pipeline and between pipeline to the sink, means to the target, so to make this connection we need a connection string. Okay, and that is called the link services. So it will be give us a particular, it will give us a link services or connection string where we can connect our source to the pipeline and pipeline to the sink. That is called link services, where we can easily connect. Okay, so this is the link services where we will need link services. So let's assume if we wanted to make a pipeline, then how many number of link services we need? So we need two link services, one for source to pipeline and another for pipeline to destination. So every time for one particular pipeline we need two link services, and for one particular pipeline we need two data sets, which will define a source data set, source data type, and another data set which will define the target data set or target data type. So make sure every time whenever we will start to building a pipeline, so two data sets should be there and two link services also should be there. Okay, so we can not miss anything, otherwise it will not, pipeline will not going to work. Okay, and the next is trigger. So let's walk you through the trigger. So this is the trigger, see here, and if you wanted to make the trigger, then what is trigger basically? So like see, we have a pipeline. Okay, so let's say we have a pipeline and I wanted to run this pipeline weekly basis, once in a week, and hourly basis also, and daily basis also. Okay, so we can control our pipeline to run, and as per the Microsoft promise, Microsoft will charge the particular pipeline when the pipeline will run. So unnecessarily we can avoid the unnecessarily run, right? So we can save our cost whenever it will require to run our pipeline to do the data transformation, to do the data movement, then only we can schedule our pipeline to run via using triggers. So in Azure Data Factory we have different type of trigger. So schedule trigger, as I told you, tumbling window trigger, as I told you also, storage event trigger, and custom trigger. So mainly we are using basically three types of trigger as well: schedule trigger, tumbling window trigger, and storage event trigger. So I will walk you through also in the next video when I will start a particular pipeline to make the data movement. So don't worry, everything I will walk you through. And the next is integration runtime. So this is very important whenever we wanted to run our pipeline. So let's example, if we wanted to run these data movement pipeline, so where we will run. So to run this whole requirement, we need a particular environment where our pipeline will execute. That is called integration runtime. Inside the particular integration runtime, we can schedule a pipeline runs, and we can run our requirement. So it's need a platform to run our pipeline. So that is called integration runtime, where we can easily run our pipeline. I will also show you, see, the integration runtime. And also in Azure Data Factory there is different type of integration runtime. So first is Azure Auto Resolve integration runtime, which is provided by Microsoft by default, and this is the self-hosted integration runtime. So sometimes if we wanted to make the connections between private cloud or on-prem server, then we have to make the self-hosted integration runtime to connect with the on-prem server to your Azure Data Factory. Okay, so this is that, and also as I told you, SSIS package. So also there is SSIS package where we can make the SSIS package and we can run, we can move our data easily. So this different type of integration runtime. So I'll show you. See, self-hosted integration runtime, as I told you, Azure self-hosted integration runtime, Azure SSIS package. And so sometime if you wanted to Azure self-hosted integration runtime, then inside Azure, so if you select the Azure, then you can manage the integration runtime configurations as well. Okay, so let's see, I will show you. See here, the by default size will be 4. Like, see, a small will have in advance, you can see 4 core we will have. And if we wanted to if we have huge number of the data, then we have to increase that core. So medium 8 driver core there will be, and large there will be 16 driver core, and custom whatever we wanted to make the powerful machines to run our pipeline, then as per requirement we can manage the core as well. So as per core powerful machine, Microsoft will charge. Okay, so this is that particular integration runtime whenever we have to use, and this is very fundamental types of core component, where if we wanted to make a single copy data activity pipeline, then we have to make sure all these core items like pipelines, like activities, copy activities, like data sets, we have to define the data sets, and link services, we have to create the link services to connect with the source to destination, and triggers, we have to schedule that pipeline when we wanted to run our pipeline. And the integration runtime, where we wanted to connect with the where we wanted to run our pipelines on the particular machines. Okay, so this is very important, and I will show you all those things in my lab also in the coming video. So we have seen all those fundamental requirement of the Azure Data Factory whenever we wanted to run the particular pipelines. Okay, and let's assume now why we wanted to learn the Azure Data Factory, why we use Azure Data Factory. Okay, so basically whenever we wanted to move our data, so there will be no code low code, means you will have to write a very small amount of the code lines where you wanted to manage your pipeline. Okay, so you have to basic knowledge on the programming language like Python will be very helpful, and you have to be SQL developer as well. So you have to able to write a particular efficient SQL query to query your data. So you can manage your pipeline as per requirement also. And as I told you, it support more than 90 plus of the connector, easily connect to the SQL, REST API, blob storage, Salesforce and SAP and etc. Okay, and also it's a very scalable and cost effective. So whenever we wanted to run our pipeline, then only that pipeline will run. Then only this pipeline will run. Otherwise, it will be stopped. Okay, and skill and built-in scheduling and monitoring. So we can build pipeline, we can schedule that pipeline as per requirement, and we can monitor the executions of the pipeline whenever we wanted to run our pipelines. Okay, and let's come to the conclusion. So Azure Data Factory is essential for any cloud-based data engineer. It's help you to move and prepare data efficiently across the system. So whenever we wanted to move our data from any kind of sources to the cloud, and then we do the transformations as per the business need, as per the requirement, we can do easily. And in future video we will cover how to create your first pipeline, connect to the data sources and optimize performance. So thank you for being part of the journey. Let's learn, build and grow together. There will be Maverick Cloud. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.